Well, g'day guys, it's the Outback Legend here, and today what I have for you is a post-patch weapon review of the A-91 Carbine in Battlefield 4. Now this is a Russian-made weapon. It's a bullpup design, and this is utilised by the Russian military and also the Russian police force. Now in Battlefield 4, this weapon has an 800 round per minute, a maximum damage of 24 hit points of damage, and then it drops off to 15 hit points of damage. So overall the stats of this weapon really aren't too bad. 24 hit points, which that's roughly around a 4 to 5 hit kill, and then it drops off to 15, which of course that's considerably more, but with the 800 rounds per minute you don't really notice that. And also this weapon really is more of a close to medium range weapon, and it can be used out at longer ranges, but I recommend that it would be used in the close to medium range. Now, let's get into some gameplay. Now, overall, I've started using this weapon as it was recommended to me by one of my subscribers, and I hadn't really used this weapon before. I picked it up a few times and ran around with it, hadn't done overly well, and didn't really persist with it all that much. But since it was recommended to me that I give it another try, I did, and I will say I was genuinely surprised with this weapon. It's devastating in close quarters, it's very effective in medium ranges, and even at longer ranges it can hold its own. Easiest way to use this weapon in close quarters, of course, is go full auto. Hip fire with this weapon is absolutely brilliant. This is one of the better hip firing weapons I've used so far in Battlefield 4. It certainly has no trouble taking out 2 or 3 targets without even having to aim down sight in close ranges. Now at medium ranges, just aim down sight and go full auto, or just tap fire it. And of course at longer ranges, tap firing is definitely the way to go. Just fire off 3 to 4 shots and you'll have no problem taking out targets at quite a distance with this weapon. Now, as for the setup with this weapon, I have played around with quite a few different attachments. Personally, I would recommend not using any barrel attachments with this weapon, as barrel attachments seem to mainly just hinder how the weapon reacts. Now, as for the foregrip, I would recommend using an angled grip. That certainly seems to be the way to go. It stabilises the weapon, which of course makes it even easier to use. I did use the stubby grip with it, which the added accuracy for the stubby grip certainly did help a little bit, but it wasn't really noticeable enough to put up with having more recoil. So personally, I just stuck with the angled foregrip. Now, as for accessories with this weapon, if you like to hip fire a lot, which is something that this gun certainly excels at, I would recommend going for a laser sight of your choice. Now, one of my favourite accessories that I've started to use on this weapon and most of my other weapons has become the tactical light. Now, the reason why I like to use a tactical light is because I'm sure a lot of you guys have noticed that the flare sight, infrared sight, matched with smoke has become quite a favoured tactic of many players on Battlefield. Now, if you use a tactical light or a flashlight against a player who has an infrared sight or a flare sight, you will blind them. And I can tell you now, it really does give you a bit of an advantage over them. Now, personally why I recommend using the tactical light is because it only activates when you aim down sight, whereas the flashlight, it can be a little bit problematic, because if you move out into the open with a flashlight on and it's not switched off, you will stick out like a sore thumb. Now, as for the sights that I recommend for this weapon, personally I've found that my favourite sight with this weapon is the Coyote sight, but I've also done very well with using the Cobra sight. Reason why I prefer the Coyote sight for this weapon is because it's a faster firing weapon. I found that just having that red dot in that very open sight, it just seems to match perfectly with this weapon. But the Cobra sight is another very good choice. as I find the Cobra sight is a good choice with quite a lot of weapons in this game. It certainly makes you very accurate at more of a distance, and of course it doesn't hinder you very much in close quarters. So overall, the A-91 is definitely a weapon worth using. I'm pretty impressed with it. I've thoroughly enjoyed using this weapon. I've found it to be a very consistent weapon. I mostly seem to do pretty well with it, and overall it's just an enjoyable gun to use. So I hope you guys have enjoyed watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content, and also let me know down in the comments what weapon you guys would like to see next, and I shall catch you guys next time. Take it easy, everybody.